Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match. It's a 2v2 sent to me by RJB for subscribing to me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for $10 a month, which gives him the right to send me any replay he wants once a month, and I will cast it, no questions asked. RJB sends me incredible replays. He has his own YouTube channel. Just search RJB StarCraft. He focuses exclusively on fastest map, and he's very knowledgeable. So go ahead and search RJB StarCraft on your YouTube, and you will find him, and subscribe to him, and tell him that Falcon Paladin sent you. All right, so it's going to be a ZT versus a ZT here. On the right side, we have the blue Terran player, Hiya, and his teammate down to the south. It is the blue Zerg player, Luckyback. No, hang on, it's Force. Sorry, I got the names all mixed up here. It's definitely Force because he's blue. And the other team represented here is the red Zerg player. It is a Luckyback, more of a fastest map player, and this is where he is. And in the bottom right, it's going to be the red Terran player, Mong. So should be pretty exciting here today between these two teams. ZT versus ZT is balanced teams, if you know what I'm talking about here. Sometimes it can be a little bit imbalanced, especially in the fastest map. Two Zergs can be really damaging in fastest map because it is so hard to wall off. It is hard to wall off on these fastest maps situations and these scenarios. But, and the other, it's just also late game Zerg can be really hard to deal with too. So anyway, no Protoss. This is the first time in a while we've had no Protoss in a fastest map game that I've cast on the channel, I think. So anyway, what are we doing? Got ourselves a macro hatch and a spawning pool coming up in the bottom left for Luckyback. Force doing the same thing. Got a macro hatch, a pool, extractor coming in here as two. Yes, there's already gas from the other Zerg player. And the Terran's just making barracks because there's really nothing else you can do. I mean, I guess feasibly you could go for a command center first play, but that seems pretty dangerous. If you ask me to go command center first when the other team has a Zerg player who can go pool first on you and just show up and wreck your face. So the scouting is real. I believe everybody has been located by the other team here. And as a result, these early lings are going to start heading out. Are they going after their enemy Zerg player? It looks like they certainly are. But guess who has his own lings out? Yeah, that's right. It's Luckyback. So Force fighting here, Luckyback fighting here. I believe I've cast both of them on the channel before. Same thing, honestly, for Hiya and Mong. They've both been featured pretty heavily, too. So these are all names you know. Playing fastest map ever, which I think is a lot of fun. So speed coming in from Force. Speed also further along, actually, by Luckyback. So the upgrade's a little bit faster. This dance is very entertaining. Nobody wants to engage because the numbers are pretty even, and Zergling versus Zergling engagements can be kind of hit and miss. It can be hard to know who's going to win that thing. But the Marine actually changing the equation here a bit, and Luckyback is forced to fall back there. He's got additional lings coming in, though, and his speed is going to be done, like, now. And it is. Does he want to jump on this? I think he does. Isn't it crazy that having speed is the difference between wanting to engage and not wanting to engage with another enemy? It doesn't make you hit harder, but just for some reason, the closing distance, it just makes you feel like they're better units. Every time. It does it for me, too. This Marine is having kind of a great time back here. He's got 3 kills. He's contributing and holding this bit of a contain that Luckyback is dealing with right now. He's making another hatchery. He's got a creep colony coming up in case somebody makes a run by. This Marine pulls back. Very nicely done out of Hiya. And does get taken down. His own fellow Zerglings causing him some problems there. Meanwhile, everybody's going right into mech. Holy smokes. Yes, sir. Mong is going right into mech. And you know what? Same thing here from Hiya. Unfortunately for him, he skipped some steps, and now there are some vultures in his base. So there's vultures in his base killing his dudes, and they're pretty good against workers, man. They will two-shot those SCVs all the livelong day. He's got his own vultures out there, both slow because they don't have the upgrade yet, which is hilarious. But suddenly, Hiya finds himself down at 14 SCVs. What on earth happened to Force's... Where did Force's drones go? I don't want to rewind, but I feel like I have to. Has he just not been droning today at all? Is that why he has 6 drones down here? I don't think I saw an attack come in. Has he really just been not droning? He has a lot of Zerglings. He had a lot of Zerglings, too. This looks really bad all of a sudden for Luckyback. He's getting pushed on by Lings, Vultures, and Tanks. This looks really bad for Luckyback. He needs to be saved. Mong, where are you? Come save your friend. Save your teammates down here through the south. This tank is going to show up and just start wailing away on this hatchery. Oh, he sieges up in range of the mineral line. No. No. Luckyback's down to 6 drones all of a sudden himself. I think that was due to a tank attack. Makes a lot more sense. He gets 3 kills. Luckyback is down to 2 drones. Is he just dead? Is that all that's happening right now? Good gravy. I mean, I think he's just dead at this stage. He's got 1 drone. He's got a sunken up, but the tank doesn't care about your sunken. He can't jump on this because there's vultures. And the tank's sitting away back here with 9 kills to his name. I mean, maybe you just try to kill Hiya. Maybe you just try to go for that, but the tanks on the other side of the wall here for Hiya are looking so good. Ling's trying to get out here and do a bit of a run by. Yeah, Force only has 7 drones. He's really low econing. Like, immensely low econing this right now. Force is done. Force is finished. I don't know if there's coming back from this. I really don't. Yeah, man. Then Hiya's got this set up here. Mong not looking good at all, honestly. He has Mass Goliath, which turns out Zerglings are pretty good against. If you were asking, tanks are pretty good against it too. Look at them just jumping on these Goliaths. They don't care. They're going to mash them into the face. Is this... Wow, is this going to be like an 8-minute match? I don't look at these and how long they are before I cast them, but this really looks like Mong is just dead. And I mean, there's no coming back from... Well, there might be a little bit of coming back from this, kind of, but it's a 13-kill siege tank down there. The tanks are hitting. The Lings are all dead. You know what? Goliath, not bad. Not bad DPS. They're just derpy and they're slow. And that's your trade-off there. So sieging up the tanks. If you want to engage with me, you're going to take siege tank shots. How's that sound with you? Lings cruising in here. Again, 7 drones here from Force. He is doing the lowest econ of all low econ I have ever seen in a fastest map game. It seems insane to me that he's trying to pull this off. With just 8 drones now. He's like making 1 every couple of minutes. Zerglings trying to sneak around this way, but they're just, look at the angle. They're just pulling the Goliaths away so spider mines can get laid. Look at this contain. It's brutal, but the Goliath drop coming into the very 0% defended Force Hatcheryville. And he just unloads them here. Oh, he's Goliath dropping on the tanks, so they hurt each other. Amazing. That's hilarious. That is like Zealot bombing, except with Goliaths. He's Goliath bombing these tanks. Again, I don't know about this. Like, I understand these Goliaths are doing pretty well for themselves. I do. I get it, but... one big siege attack on those SCVs, but they got pulled out. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Mong's at 30 SCVs, despite all of this. Dude, Mong is kinda, sort of holding on here. He's got a good economy. He's at 67 total supply. He has a bigger army than Hiya does. These Lings aren't getting a lot done. I mean, Force is down to 4 drones after the shenanigans. Okay, he's got 10. Is there, I mean, is that it? Yeah, there's no drones over here for Luckyback, so bad. Bad times. There's actually Wraiths in the mix, which is hilarious. Dude, Mong... If Mong carries this, I'm going to be so impressed with him. It's looking good, man. Dude, Force is having the worst day right now. Drones keep popping out of these eggs, and that's not going to help you against these Goliaths. Again, they don't have any upgrades. These are 0-0 Goliaths. trying to come in here and save some stuff. The drones are hiding. The Goliaths are focused. If they'd focus down this hatch instead of like randomly hanging out here. Is he just going to engage with this? He's just engaging with this. Look at him. Like, all right, so the Wraiths die. The tanks die. Dude, Mong, the turnaround. He loses his Zerg player in the first 4 minutes. His teammate is gone, and he just 2v1s it the rest of the way with Goliaths. And ends up taking down Force. Not a bad setup at all. 38 SCVs. He has the bigger army still than Hiya does. Is he going to drop and try to do something with Hiya is my question. I mean, Force is just, he's out, is what he is. He's down to 0 drones. He has no money to rebuild a drone, which is exactly, I mean, that's exactly where Luckyback has been. Now that he's, like, Luckyback hasn't even tried to, like, he hasn't left is the tricky thing here. I wonder if he's just watching for future reasons. So Goliaths show up, 4 of them. Take down a missile turret for future drop purposes is my guess. Making it easier to get dropships in here and then get some shots off on those tanks. Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Goliaths they're done. Like, killing this hatch doesn't really matter, but I guess if you want to totally eliminate your opponent, this will do quite nicely. Some of them are attacking the larva. They're all going to die as the creep proceeds here anyway. And he's here to make sure, Hiya's here to make sure that there has been no recovery from Luckyback, which is, you know, it's a smart thing to do. But yeah, Force is out. So it's turned into a TVT. All of a sudden, 78 to 67 supply. Mong has the lead in worker count and in overall supply too. I guess that's better. I mean, Hiya doing all right here. I mean, he's not in a position to get rolled over at this point. He's down a little bit in supply, but he's been getting additional factories up. He's really, really pumping out dropships right now off of those control-towered starports, and we have just kind of settled into a TVT fest. Like, you came here expecting 2v2 shenanigans, and it looks like most of this replay is going to be TVT. 1v1er. A Mong versus Hiya game. So if you're a TVT fan, congratulations, you made it. What did I promise I was going to do for you guys? Was it going to be another TVT? I think it is. I think I was promising you guys a TVT, and I was looking for one, but then this came out. So I don't think this counts for most of you. Bit of some vulture harass down here from Hiya. All of a sudden, I'm paranoid. The game speed is too slow. Well, that's too fast. Is this the right game speed? I seriously have speed blindness, you guys. The problem is the right speed and the speed that's just below it are like 3 increments apart. I think this is it. And heaven forbid there be an on-screen indicator telling me where we are. Actually, there could be, but then I'll show you how long the game is, and that's spoilery. I don't want to do that. This does look right, doesn't it? Like the rate at which that vulture is firing now. I thought the vultures looked slow, but they kind of look ridiculously slow if they don't have the upgrade anyway. I must have been driving you guys crazy. Absolutely bonkers. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes I load into the game and it's just that 1 increment slower. than it's supposed to be. Just the one little bit, and it's hard to notice in the early game, especially on a fastest map, because the drones aren't moving anyway. And the SCVs aren't moving, they're just sitting on the mineral patches. So this is definitely too fast, and this is one down. And that's usually how I figure it out. I find too fast, and I drop it down a level, and that's it. That's where we're supposed to live. Alright. Well, Mong's up 159 to 136 supply. Like, getting a tank drop is going to be really difficult for either player at the stage, to be honest with you. You're not getting anywhere near these mineral lines, which turns this into a different scenario. Whoa, bumped that mouse with my arm again. Does manage to clear the tanks off the high ground for the most part here. Mong does. Oh, did he well, he got something. He came around from an angle that Hiya was not expecting. He's got +1 attack, as does Hiya here, so upgrades are not an advantage for anybody right now. He's setting up... Hiya's setting up tanks on the left side here. And actually taking out a few supply depots of Mong's. They're going to supply block him if they keep that up. Science Vessel down would be a big deal here. If Hiya were to lose that one. SCVs coming in, sacrificing their lives for early shots, allowing the tanks to come in and clean it up behind. Nice move. Nice move from Hiya. This vulture's got 5 kills, and one of them's a hatchery. So this creep should be receding, right? Oh, never mind. There's a sunken here. The sunken is providing creep. Okie doke. Hiya high ground tanks, again, must be dealt with by Mong. He's not interested in allowing these guys to sit here and shell him from the high ground. That is a lesson everybody's learned in StarCraft, is never let the high ground get to you. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. We are in the tank line versus tank line scenario of TVT. Mong defending and containing at the same time somehow, but dropships answer that question of how. And yes, this game somehow turns into a kind of regular TVT. Really, honestly, did not expect that. I know Zergs are weak in the early game for sure. But I didn't expect both of them to die in the first 10 minutes and just leave the Terran fans happy about the result, you know? Bunch of Goliaths down. Dropship's thinking about taking a roundabout way home, which doesn't make any sense. Ooh, losing a dropship there. I'm not sure if there's anything in that. These are all empty, I guess, though. So likely not so much. Mong slowly creeping up, trying to take the advantage here on their shared border. And now he takes the high ground with his tanks, but gets wailed upon nicely by the ground siege tanks. Upgrades are even again right now. Both players pretty happy to sit there, although +3 is on the way for Mong, so having that upgrade is going to be nice for him. The guy in the missile turret has to press a button to fire, or is it just automatic? It seems pretty automatic, right? It seems crazy that if there are humans in there, they would achieve 100% accuracy in their missile firing, especially against moving targets, but that's what we get. I guess they're just homing missiles, though, right? They don't anticipate where a target is going to be. They shoot at them, and if the target moves, they just follow it. So in that case, they're homing missiles you're shooting, so sure, you could be pressing a button, no problem. Yeah, suddenly Hiya looks like he's in a bit of trouble. He's got tanks to the south wrecking his stuff. He's got tanks over here on the left side wrecking stuff, also known as the west side if you're into cardinal directions. And Hiya feels a little bit squished, gotta say. But he's up 196 to 186 supply. He's got more workers than Mong does. Both players are going for Cloak. And both players are gearing up for the stage of TVT where everybody makes a ton of wraiths. But look at him bricking out. That sweet contain that Hiya had gets wrecked by Mong. He's able to set up over this way. Try to kill the tanks on the high ground that Hiya controls. Kind of works. And yeah, the Wraith Ball. Hiya's Wraith Ball is here. Where is the Wraith Ball for Mong? I don't actually see one. That seems like a problem for him. He's making 4. He's making Goliaths. And Goliaths are a pretty good answer to Wraiths. I don't have much complaints about that. Hiya trying to get a squish on in here. This is nuts. By the way, I love that Luckyback is still in this game. He's still watching. He's like, come on. Come on, Mong. Win for us. Win for posterity. Hiya's maxed out, looking pretty healthy. Working on more tanks. He's got his little Wraith squad with 0 attacks. Wraith, though, waiting launch order. Gonna take down that engineering bay, maybe, except the repair comes in and the building can move, which is annoying. These high ground tanks have still yet to be dealt with. Oh, that Overlord is providing a little bit of vision. Luckyback participating a little bit until he's not anymore. I mean, I think, is that all he has? I think that might be his last bit of contribution to the match was that Overlord, unfortunately for him. Meanwhile, Mong goes for a big old drop down south here, but defensive tanks are in position to help clean it up to a certain extent. Oh, coming back in for round 2. Surprise attack! Surprise attack for Hiya. He doesn't have enough tanks to defend against this, and there are tanks in range of the SCVs. Couple good hits here could be really problematic for that worker count for Hiya, but he doesn't end up... I don't know. I'm not quite sure if he's in range here. He's not worried about the Wraith count. He's just trying to get one good hit off. Oh, the retreat, though. The retreat. Can he get that left? He's not really focusing at all. Goliath's doing great against these air targets, as they do. And I think Mong might have pulled this off. Does he have a scan available? Tell me he has a scan. He only has the... No, he has a bunch of comm stats. He has a lot of scan available. The Wraiths are in trouble, though. They have to stick around to try to kill the siege tanks if they can. You have another scan available. This little corner being held by Mong is so bad. You cannot allow this. Ooh, and then the Valkyries. Valkyrie prepared. Gonna wipe out the Wraiths. Defensive tanks have been allowed to set up in time, though. And Hiya holds. He's at 49 SCVs to 50 SCVs for Mong. Both players pretty happy about their situation. Ooh, look at him wailing down the Valkyries, though. This Wraith count, surprisingly high again for Hiya. All right, Mong says, fine. I have to engage in the air combat. Let's make some additional starports here. Both players have about the same bank going for them, so nobody has advantage there either. Still doesn't have the +3, nor is he working on it. Hiya's pretty happy to sit here on +2 attack, which has got to be intentional. See, man, he's unloading more tanks, but look at how clumped up they are. They do wipe out a lot of the defending tanks from Hiya, though, and I have to imagine upgrades have a lot to do with that. If he just scooches up a little bit, I think he can wipe out about 12 SCVs there, which would be a big-time engagement. But coming down the other side is Hiya. He's setting up inside Mong's base. There it is. All right, so 35 SCVs left now for Hiya. Pushing in the other side here, trying to get in on Mong's stuff, but he needs to get rid of this little tank setup on the other side. He does, and he's going to do it. He's doing the Goliath drop on the tanks again, which is so hilarious. I like it so much. Man, that's a lot of wraiths. They have 1-1, 2. They don't want to engage with the Goliaths, but they will kill the tanks that are, you know, far enough away. Ooh, and even with the cloak, too. Mong! Oh, he's coming in again. He's just continually dropping down here. The tank's defending from Hiya. What an insane game this is. Hiya pushing on the starports. The starports are gone for Mong. Look at him just continually. Okay, guys, ready? You're here. Let's go up. Let's drop. Let's engage. Let's continually drop up this way. We'll be able to break through eventually. I do want to give a quick shout out, as long as we're here, to JLC, a longtime subscriber of the channel, supporter of the Twitch as well. Appreciate him. He loves battle cruisers. I was hoping BCs would come out in this match so that he could be happy, but in the end, I don't think we're going to get there, although this game's not over yet. But anyway, thank you, JLC, for being such a good member of the community. Appreciate it. He did purchase that shout out by just acquiring Twitch channel points out at twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin, which means he's there a lot. And sometimes he's there to criticize, sometimes he's there to help out. Just be a friendly voice, and I appreciate that. So thanks, JLC. This is like super entrenched all of a sudden. Hiya's got like Mong in a bit of a stranglehold here. Mong has Hiya in a bit of a stranglehold here. I almost, if I was Hiya, would just expand up to another place. Just to have somewhere to fall back to if these tanks do manage to creep in. I don't know. Hiya's a much better player than I am. He probably makes better decisions generally than I do. Free Vulture is a free Vulture. And behold, he was free. Still no +3 attack coming in for Hiya. That 3-2 Mong's state of being for the last little while here as well. Looks like the Valkyries are hunting the Wraiths. He does like Valkyries, though. Maybe JLC will be happy about the Valks. They've done some good work so far. Yeah, man. 1-1 Valkyries, or Wraiths, rather. Not bad. Not a bad unit. He's gonna try to... Oh, look at this. Here we go. Whoa. And wow. So many Wraiths died there. It's what Valkyries are made for, is to go up against large groups of light air units, and especially Mutalisks, but Wraiths count in that category as well. Mong's like, all right, can I set up here again? Looks like I can, actually, yeah. Just unload all of the look at all of the tanks on the high ground here. You can hit that factory, you can hit the supply depots, you can hit that tank on the low ground. I like it. I'm liking it here for Mong. Man, this is so back and forth. This is great. This has turned into a really close TVT and fastest map. Can he hit? I guess he can't hit that one. Maybe with vision of the dropships he could. Whoa! Hiya just going for it, though. Pushing right up the middle. Valkyries here to deal with the dropships. Goliath's trying to deal with the Valks, but there are only a couple of those, so I think the Valks are going to be fine generally. But the tanks are here, and this is such a disaster for Mong. Tanks are on top of his production. The Valkyries can't shoot down at all. There's a reason you make Wraiths instead of Valkyries. Look at him. He has to come home. He has to bring some of his units home. High ground that to try to save it. And there's the tank unload. Unsieged, trying to take out Hiya's tanks. SCVs and tanks popping out of factories at just the right time for Mong here. But is it enough? There are so many tanks remaining for Hiya. Oh my gosh, they're kind of just winning this thing. It's 126 to 109 total supply. The trades have been excellent for Hiya right here. Oh my gosh. Tanks on the high ground still sitting here, but they're not affecting the production at all, which these tanks are. He's got his own Wraiths out, but look at him bringing additional tanks and Goliaths in. Okay, one Goliath in. That's enough to chase away the Valkyrie. Not that he's really accomplishing much of anything. Yeah, he got a couple factories down here. So production seems like it is better for Hiya. But Mong is up 136 to 117 supply. He has more army, but a lot of it is up this way, not really helping with the base defense at the moment. I guess Hiya has his own tanks in defensive positions as well. He's like, yeah, you know what? You can have this, Mong. Why don't you have this, and then you head down this way. He's going to go ahead and drop ship down this way and try to keep this creep happening. So both players, defensive perimeters around their minerals. Both players, tanks in their main bases. This is nuts. If he picks up too many, you know what? If he leaves this too unguarded, Mong might pounce on it. He might pounce on this and just wipe out that SCV count. That would be huge for him, but I'm not sure how focused he is on the tanks that are inside Hiya's base. Ah, here we go. Mong setting up a bit of a home away from home on the the graveyard of his teammate Force, who's been dead for a while. He was not allowed to stick around and watch because he got totally eliminated. I wonder if Luckyback asked, if he asked in, like, game chat, hey, can I stick around for a bit? And they granted him the chance to do so. Although, I don't know. If I was Mong, I don't think I would like that, because Luckyback can provide some, or sorry, if I was Hiya, I wouldn't like that, because Luckyback could provide Mong with some extra vision, right? He can see everything that Mong can see, give him advanced heads-up warning of stuff that's happening, just basically another pair of eyes. And 2 pairs of eyes in a game of StarCraft is invaluable. God, I wonder if they've ever done that before. Boy, Hiya, though, coming on in. Once again, trying to crush through right now. Is there enough? Oh, snap. And wait, Hiya. What? No. What? That does not, no. That doesn't make sense. Did Mong get up here? Okay, we're right at the end. Music off. Too distracting. I mean, I guess Mong's up 178 to 142, but again, a lot of these tanks, and I guess he has all this happening, but what the heck? So a bunch of his SCVs die trying to escape, which is not good for him. He only has 46 workers, but Mong's only at 41. It's not like Mong has an incredible economy. This little stuff's happening over this way. These SCVs are being stupid. He scans and says, God, it's a lot of tanks, though. Why would he go in there? Like, okay, he loses this setup. He does. I guess he brings in additional tanks. Yeah. So he brings in additional tanks, but it really doesn't go well for him at all. The Wraith count is nuts. Is that it? Is he just saw the Wraith count and he didn't have the Wraith count anymore? I guess Mong's at 175 supply. Hiya just lost a ton. All right, it feels questionable, but we're going to roll with it, I guess. Bit of an interesting 2v2 there for sure. The Terran scores compared to the poor Zerg scores. Bad times, man. Pretty close across the board, though, for Maya and Hong. Or Hiya and Mong. I don't know why I have trouble with their names, but I do. Both players produce about the same number. Mong ended up killing more units, losing fewer, which is a good way to win this game. And then resources just more across the board here. Not a ton more, mind you. I'm still, I don't know. I don't feel good about Hiya's tap out there. Maybe RJB can come along and explain to us exactly what's going on. But I think that's it. I think that's it today for your bonus fastest map ever match sent to me by RJB. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.